pleasure. It is Mara Faris on Dromai.
Yeah.
That is her jam. I will 100% say that is her jam. She loves Dromai, talks about it a lot. Also, Mara Faris of Blackwing Studios makes some of the best altars I've ever seen.
Totally agree.
Have I shown? Must have shown you, my
yes.
Luke Skywalker Katsu with a Anakin's lightsaber and a Luke's lightsaber Kadachi's. Beautiful.
You have indeed shown me that. It is incredible, and I agree. And she was a Prism main prior, and is now all about the Dromai illusionist action. And I don't blame her because Dromai is very, very cool.
Cooper Templeton on Phi, again, trying to go fast here. And the nasty part about Phi against Dromai is those Ash Wings are just food for Phoenix Flames.
They can be, yes. And here we start with a burn away on the technically turn 1, but turn 0, the first turn you have to play that go again with a 4 attack and try to push some damage. This is off the back of drawing your own other Phoenix Flame. Look at this, having a second Phoenix Flame in hand to follow it up. Taking a look at the equipment, we do have a full equipment suite for Mara, but for Cooper, only the Helios Miter and the Quelling Slippers. So not as much utility available there, but I think he's just going to try to go face and finish it.
And Mara's getting the good stuff. It's not just the Quelling package. You got the Silken Form and the Silent Stiletto. So you've got some good pieces. Not that Silent Stilettos are going to be massive, but you got what you need, I suppose. And, you know, that's probably factoring into why she's currently 2-0. But in the moment right now, we've got a Ember Blade coming through and a Phoenix Flame, and Mara just, again, saying, send me the bill.
And now we have a Ruptured Triggered. I forget the name of that card. Why do I forget the name of that card? Nevertheless, the Rupture triggers, and it's pushing a bunch of damage.
Yeah, man. When you got a Rupture at the end of this, it's a Big Chief Boss Hoss kind of move, baby.
That's right, it is. Pushing a ton of damage, and this is going to most likely just buy multiple cards perhaps from Mara, unless she just really likes her hand, pushing that 5 damage. I believe it's called Breaking Point. It just came to me. Tell me in chat if that's Breaking Point. I'm pretty sure that's Breaking Point.
I think at this point you're kind of pot committed if you're Mara here. I mean, you're just saying, hey, I took this other 4 damage because I like my hand. I have to kind of protect this hand now. There's a Chromai in there. That's going to get things going. 2 Ash coming through. And again, Chromai is free, and it opens up. It's a red card, so we're going to invoke Chromai, ditch an Ash, and there's the Chromai coming through. And she just busts out the Marvel saying, yeah, cool story.
I have all the Marvels, and I will show them off as often as possible. Coming across for 3, and also representing just a very, very... Oh, yeah, she's going to show the Ash as well, which is great because it does show that, you know, you have the Ash under this. But coming across for 3, and when you attack with this, you're gaining an action point as well, which is very cool. Pitching her own Phoenix Flame, because she's choosing to run Phoenix Flame. You're allowed to do that. Phoenix Flame is Draconic, so that she can come in with the Billowing Mirage.
Now, I mentioned earlier that, you know, Mara loves Dromai. She plays Dromai, I don't say exclusively, but it's her favorite hero right now. And when you show up to the draft and you brought your own Marvels, because you're like, yeah, I'm probably just going to force Dromai. It's like, here it is, right? So there's the Marvel Chromai. I said, Marvel Chromai, which is a 3-2. And if it does get destroyed, you gain an action point. So popping it is not really going to end the story. In this case, there's extra chapters that follow the popped Chromai.
Now, here representing 4 damage, and I believe that was directed... For some reason, it looked as though he was directing that at the Aether Ashwing, but perhaps that is directed at Mara's life total instead, and it does look like that is the case. Dropping down to 6, and this is what Phi wants to do. Phi says, your dragons are cool, but your face is the place, and I am going to try and punch it.
Oh, man. I don't think I've ever been cool, and my face has never been the place. Nonetheless, Emberblade is, I think, at this point, Cooper's saying, all right, again, we're going to play this game of chicken. You really like your hand. You're taking 4 because your hand is awesome. Well, let's see just how far you're going to go before you blink. And it looks like Mara's saying, cool story. I got more marvels up my sleeve. I see a Rake the Embers red. I do see a sand cover.
Yeah, there's a sand cover. So she can prevent some of this damage, but if she does, it's at the cost of the only Ash that she has right now. And being Ash starved is incredibly tough because if you're Ash starved in this situation and you don't have the ability to play like a Rake the Embers for max value, you run into a lot of issues with this hand anyway.
And there it is. Okay, so we're going to block out the that 3 attack with Go again. There's another 2 on top. That's the chaser in this story, and it looks like Mara, Phoenix Flame after the fact, is going to go ahead and basically crush. So the whole Dragon Armada is dead.
Yeah, cleaned up the Dragon. It is no more. Do have 1 Ash, but if you pitch red here and you play Rake the Embers, well, you are able to create those Ashwings back, and somehow the Ashwing is going to return.
I don't think that's somehow Palpatine has returned. Somehow the Ashwings have returned.
There it is. Somehow the Ashwings have returned.
Got him. There we go. That was a hard one. We got that.
No,
we got that one.
I was waiting and biding my time to fit that one in because I knew the perfect timing. It was right now. Somehow Ashwings had returned.
I gave you some leeway because I saw the Rake the Embers and I saw how Cooper just went ahead and Zamboni'd that whole dragon field.
You were setting me up and I was ready.
Oh yes, that's a red Rake, and we're only going to create 2 Ashwings, which I think is the right move. And like you mentioned, being Ash starved is something that you have to be wary of. So keeping 1 in the bank is important. We don't know how many dragons Mara has drafted, but keeping that Ash ready to rock and roll is crucial.
Well, she arsenaled the sand cover, and that's the huge implication is that I need at least 1 Ash to give Ward 4 to on a breakpoint attack, and if that comes across, then I have the the resources ready. And if it does not come, well, that's fine too. I'll figure that out when it comes to it because I could probably use a card from hand to block a 3 or a 2 from there.
All right, Mara is facing down again the Ember Blade, a nasty, nasty little bit here. 5, the only hero that has the benefit of a usable weapon, as it is. An offensive weapon, not necessarily a utility weapon, as it were. And hey, that's a red Findle's Fighting Spirit. And that is going to block 2, but also give you an extra life. So effective block 3.
That's right.
And frankly, I mean, let's be real here. The situations that have been presented by Cooper has put Mara in several pickles, frankly.
Yep.
And she's managed to just, squeak her way out and maintain some forms of pressure, which is, it's a great thing at this stage because Fi is relentless.
Now, this is huge because the Searing Touch is triggered on the Rupture. 2 damage is being presented to Mara, and if she does not use any form of Quell or Helios Miter to stop that damage, she just dies on the spot. Which is very dangerous. She could also Ward 4 here and prevent some of that damage as well. But as you said, she's in a pickle here, and she's going to have to try to figure out her way through this using some form of equipment plus card to block, maybe even choosing that ward option.
It's going to be an uphill climb no matter what for Mara, mainly because the recurring damage output from Fi, Ember Blade, Phoenix Flames, there's always going to be something that you have to keep in the back of your mind. And at what rate now is Mara going to have to, maybe shift strategy? Like aggression is not is out of the question now. As soon as you start taking damage, you're dead. Basically, you're at 2 health. You have little to no wiggle room to maintain a hand to preserve any kind of aggression. So in this case, it looks like Mara is just going to be content to, poke through with 1 Ashwing, go down to 1. This is dangerous. That's a Phoenix Flame.
Yeah, everything presents lethal, and this is not the position you want to be in a ninja. Historically, if you're jamming this out as a ninja, you feel very good in this position because everything you do represents lethal. This is the old school Kadachi method of just, nickel and diming your opponent to death.
I mean, go ninja, go ninja, go. This is an awful break point here. There is a sand cover, I believe, still, and that is a huge help.
Oh, Oasis Respite from hand is going to allow her to go up to 2 now, which does put her out of a single Phoenix Flame range, and he is going to go fetch the Phoenix Flame. Cooper playing like a man possessed. He's on the warpath, trying to push that lethal damage, but now, unfortunately, can't present lethal with just a Phoenix Flame.
Well, this is the right move here. It's just continue to pressure face.
Oh, wow. Here we go. 3 with go again.
There's no float, though.
There's nothing coming after it, though.
All right, we'll block it out. We'll see you next round, I guess. There's another turn coming up over here. That's a lot of cards that went away. Drawing back up. Mara's going to do the same. She's going to swing with an Ashwing.
Yep.
Just say, all right, okay.
They both take it down immediately. It's like a foregone conclusion. Hey, do you want to take this Ashwing? Yeah, that's fine. Let's move on.
Yeah, this is a Stanley, the Ashwing. And the other one is a Michelle, the Ashwing. Yeah.
Presenting the casual 4 here.
There's another sand cover in hand, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. There's still one in Arsenal, I think, Steve?
I believe so. I believe that sand cover is in Arsenal, unless we missed a pitch early for that to be represented. She's going to use Quell on this turn, so that does help her chances. Again, she's at 1, so you have to be very judicious with your use of Quell because it can really pay off on a pivotal turn.
Yeah, the one floating Quell, I mean, that's going to address one of those Phoenix Flames. And again, that Phoenix Flame is basically lethal. We're going to go ahead and find that last Phoenix Flame. You're going to quell that one last piece. I don't think there's any combat tricks here that can really make hay here. How much is that? That's pretty nasty.
Blocks it all out, survives again, and I think they do this thing where one Ashwing pushes forward, and then they both write something.
I would, in all honesty, I think that Cooper, there's a case to be made where Cooper maybe just recovers the Phoenix Flame and pockets it.
Cooper is running a cracked bobble like an absolute boss.
Wait, what?
He has a cracked bobble in his hand.
When did you pivot, Cooper?
That is a big play right there. That's big. How exciting.
I genuinely think that there's a situation where Cooper needs to think about arsenaling a card, tanking a little bit of damage, and closing the game out with 5 cards. I think that is almost necessary. And full credit to Mara here, who has done an exquisite job of keeping this game, at least 2 turns longer than perhaps Cooper thought it was going to go.
Yeah, I think the ability for Dromai to just block out, and present board damage in the form of these Ashwings is huge.
Up a life as well here.
And this is going to possibly allow her to take just this Phoenix Flame again rather than trying to commit a card. And now you may have some plays opened up to you depending on what you're holding, what's left.
Is that not the cracked bobble in his hand?
I believe it is the cracked bobble in his hand.
There's nothing you cannot arsenal that card.
Yeah, I guess he had to pitch the blue here to pay for the effect of, I guess, fetching, but he definitely paid for the blade on that turn.
This could be. Why did you not pitch that to go with the Ember Blade? You're now, because that cracked bobble in your hand.
Oh, look at this!
Oh my God, Mara!
Mara's able to represent 8 damage on this turn. Now, of course, this is not presenting lethal, but what it's doing is it's basically effectively leveling the playing field in a way that Cooper never wanted to see. Now, he does have an Oasis Respite in hand, but he also, I think, has an Uprising in hand, and he has a cracked bobble in hand. I don't think he has a single attack in his hand at this point, so he can't really return volley outside of a 3 Ember Blade.
Oh, this is, I feel like Cooper missed an opportunity here to pitch that bobble because you cannot arsenal the bobble. You cannot play it. It's not a playable card. It is pitch fodder. So Mara, seeing Cooper pass with a card in hand and not arsenal it, maybe she thought, it's like, okay, he's got a dead card. He's got something that he doesn't want to keep in there. And the return volley, like you said, it's nothing to shake a stick at. That is a massive comeback attack. That's 8.
This is an incredible turn because, yes, you can easily, toss one of these cards to block, maybe Oasis Respite, stop some of this damage if you chose to. But I mean, what are you doing on your turn? Maybe playing that Healing Balm, but not representing anything of note. Yeah, he's going to throw the Uprising that he has in hand, and then he's going to Oasis Respite, pitching the cracked bobble.
Yeah, there's Mara just agreeing, saying, there's the bobble.
And then you're going to Healing Balm on your turn, or maybe pitch it for Ember Blade, but you're not representing anything. Mara's going to go into her turn with likely a 3 or a 4 card hand.
What is he holding on to? What was his last card there? He's just going to go ahead and...
Blue Healing Balm, and he's just going to pitch it for that Ember Blade play for 3.
I see a Mirror Guy. I see a Dunebreaker, I believe, in hand as well. So there's some go-again potential here.
Most definitely. But this, you do have to stop and say, okay, at the very least, I have to respect this and block it out completely, and then go to my turn and figure out how I can represent a ton of lethal.
Oh, Cooper, I feel like Cooper a few turns ago lost an opportunity to pocket a 5-card hand and perhaps close it out. And look what Mara's doing here. Mara is saying, all right, welcome back, Tempo. It's nice to have you. Let's keep going here. And again, the thing is that when you're on that razor's edge of 1 against a 5 that can present 4 go-agains, 1 go-agains, these little pokes and prods that are essentially the end of the game here. It looks like Cooper right now is just marking it down. Can Mara get to a situation where she can peel a card off of Cooper?
Oh, most definitely, because she has in her hand a red
Boom!
Ember Moss Centipede that represents 8 damage and says, you need to find a way to deal with this, otherwise I win the game.
Mara, the Black Widow, is just showing that she's never out of this.
This is a big swing because at this point now Cooper's going to have what is essentially like a 2-card hand, maybe a 3-card hand, depending on what he does with the Brothers in Arms. I believe he has in his hand. So he could have some number of cards that just don't really fit together well because he does have like a trade-in as well. And what do? You represent maybe 2 attacks, 3 attacks. As long as Mara draws into 4 cards and isn't like completely decked out.
But those 4 attacks, like if Cooper can put together 2 or 3 attacks, they'd have like some of them have to be 4s. Like one of them has to be a 4.
Yeah. This is a very tense moment. And yeah, he is going to Brothers in Arms, pitch the trade in, and also use Helios Miter. This is his last piece of equipment. He is going to try and block as much as he can off of a single card. And that is a very scary proposition because you know what illusionists can do? They can pretend to be ninjas and Kadachi for 1, Kadachi for 1, Kadachi for 1, and take all your cards. And at this point, all you have to do is play a red card as Mara, and the entire board
Sand
is
cover.
lethal.
Okay, this is nothing, right? That's just opening it up. We've got an Ember Blade coming in for 3 go again. Easy block with 1 card. Mara just needs 1 red card to open up the tempo, to open up the chain, and then you've got 4 attacks. There's no surprises here. Cooper's staring down lethal in 4 different ways right in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah, all this takes is a single card block from Mara, playing a single red card on her turn, and the board is open for go-again swings. And eyeing the card that you want to, make the play on is Mara just trying to figure out which one you want to choose to block with. Going to block with the Vincerikai, so Invoke Vincerikai is going to cover that up. Going to Phoenix Flame here with that last resource. Going to have to give another card here, of course, to prevent the lethal.
That's fine. You sand cover and you go face, I think, is what this on their turn. You hold sand cover if necessary. That is a way to burn an ash, get a red card, get go again, have a good day.
Yep, sand cover.
Okay, sand cover on, okay, I was thinking sand cover on Mara's turn as a red card that costs nothing that opens up the go-agains on all your dragons.
Yep, but you're going to use that to ward 4 here to prevent that damage, and then you can still just pitch because you have a Rake the Embers.
Oh, yeah. Goodness gracious me, oh my, that's 2 more Ashwings.
Yep, that is 2 more Ashwings, and most likely the game because it's going to represent far more cards than are in the hand of Cooper. And this one stops 2, and as long as he does not have a popper, then she can present lethal here.
Trade in, given, donated, bad return. It's done!
That's going to be the game, and Mara picks it up on a crazy swing.